Hey everyone, I'm back with another Python lesson. Today we will learn how to create to-do app using Python. By the end of this video, you will know how to create a nice graphical interface, add features like buttons, make your app work. Let's get started. What is a graphical application? It's a program where you can interact with buttons, input fields, and other visual elements. For example, you can add tasks, click a button, and see your task in a list. To make this type of program, we need a graphical library. In Python, we will use Tkinter, a library that is simple and great for beginners. Why Tkinter? It's free and comes with Python, so no need to install it. It's easy to learn. It's perfect for building small apps like to-do lists. Now let's talk about what we want to build. This app will let you add tasks to a list, delete tasks, mark tasks as it done. So let's begin coding. First, we need import this library. By this library, Tkinter, we use Tk instead of Tkinter in our program. After this, we will create the main window for our program. This window will hold all the buttons and lists. To create a window using Tk method from Tkinter by this line. This is name of window our app. To set the title to our app and window, for example, we want to set title to-do list app. We use name of our window dot title. Title is method and type everything you want. For example, to-do list app. We need set size of our window. Tkinter library, we have a method geometry to set size of our window. So we type like this and use this method to set size of our window. To add a background color, we use configure method. So we type like this, name of our window, configure this method, and we type every color you want. For example, we want to set a light gray background color. We type like this. To run our code and see what happens, we need this method from Tkinter main loop. This method runs our program until we click on a close button. Let's run it and see what happens. We see a blank window with title to-do list app. Now let's add more features. For example, button, for example, text box, a place for list tasks, and everything we want. Now we need a box where the user can type tasks. Let's add it. We use the intro widget. This is last line of our program, so we type here. To add intro widget, we type, for example, task input. This is variable. To create intro or text box, we use tk dot intro. In parentheses of this method, type parameter. First parameter, we need type name of our window. We have root. This is window where the input box will appear. So we type here root. And to set the width of input box, we type like this, width, and any size we want, for example 30, width of input box. We can set font and size, set font name and size for text inside the box. For example, like this. This line create an input box where the user can type to get input from user. This box lets the user type task into the app. We must use some method, for example, pack, to arrange widget in the window. So we type like this, name of widget dot pack. This is method. In parentheses, add vertical space padding around the widget. Without pack method, the widget won't appear in the window. Let's run it and see the output. We see the text box at the top of the window. After this, we need a button. We will add a button to let the user add tasks to the list. We use button widget to create buttons from the Tkinter library. Every name we want. This is add button, so we type add button equal Tika dot button. This is a widget. So we set features. First, parent window where the button will appear. We type root. The label or any text on the button we want to show, type here like this, text equal. This button be used for add task, so we type like this. We can define background and foreground for this button. For example, we use bg for set background like this. Define foreground for this button with this keyword. Define white color for foreground. Also, we want to define font for this button by this line. We define one button in window. Name of our window root. Button appear in this. And the label on the button add task. This is background and foreground. We can set font size and style of the text on the bottom. After this line, we use pack to arrange these widgets in the window. We use name of widget dot pack, for example, PythonY5. You can change this number and see the output. Practice this item. So this button lets the user click and toggle. This button need command, give us an action. To define this, we need set command parameter. We need type here name of our function to do action. To define this function, def and name of our function and parentheses, every parameter we need type here and semicolon. We define this function later, so we type here pass to do anything and later we come back and define it. Okay, let's run it. We use text box for input and this button, we click it. We want add task, but now we pass them. This is keyword in Python to do nothing. We define it soon. Now we need a place to show the task. Let's create a task list. This is list box widget. So we need set parameter root, the parent window where the list will appear, comma, we set width like this, for example 35, and we set height, background we want set white, every color we want type here, foreground set black, set the font and size like before. We need set a select mode. It allows selecting one item at a time. By this parameter, we set select mode. We can select one item at a time. This list shows all tasks added by the user. Okay, we use pack to show the box in the window with this line. This is a simple list where tasks will appear. The background is white and font is clear and readable. Run the program again and you will see the task list below the input bar. Okay, we added some item in our window. Now we want to define add task function. To add task function gets the text from the input box and adds it to the task list. So we type task input, every item user type dot get. This is method. We can use this method from task input, every item user type and save in this variable. We must add this task to our task list. If we have any task, check if the user type any task and it isn't null, we can add this to the task list by this line. Task list dot insert. This is method. The insert method is used to add new item to the list. It has two parameters, position and value. Position where the new item will be added. This task end of the list. So we type like this, tk dot end. tk dot end means add the item at the end of the list. After this, we must type value. The content we want to add, in this case, is the task from the input box. So we type task. After this, we need clear input box after adding the task to the list. So we can use task input dot delete. This is method from the intry widget. The delete method removes text from the intry, start index, and end of index. We must type from 0 to the end of the intry by this line. This line clears input box after adding the task to the list. This is start position to delete, and this ending position to delete. After this line runs, the input box will be empty, ready for the next task. Let's run the program and add a task. Because we define add task in the input box, we can type every item, every task we want to do. First, click add task, clear here and add it in the list box. Second task, we type here and click on a button and add it end of the list box. Everything is good. Now let's add a button to the delete task. We can type here and define new button by this line. Delete button equal tk dot button. We use root. We want delete task. So we type here. We can set background and foreground like this and set the font. But one thing more we need, command parameter. So we type here command and name of our function. To delete button, we need define new function. To this action, name of our function can be this. We must define it. So upper than this line, we need define this function because our program runs up to down, line by line. To define our function, we use def and name of our function. Now we type pass. We define it soon. We use pack function to show this button in the window. Let's run it and see our program. We add delete button in our app. But this button, nothing to do. We need add this function. To delete every item, we need select and click on the delete task. Remove this item from the box list. To define this function, we need use select current. Every item now we selected. To define it, we get selected task from the list by this line. Task list, name of our list box, and car selection. This line gets us selected task from the list. If selected task isn't null, we can delete it. So we check this isn't null, delete it from the task list by this line. So we type task list and use delete method, which item selected task. Run our program and add a task and try deleting it. Okay, everything is good. The final feature is to mark task as done. For example, this task we have done, we can mark task as done. Let's add a button to do it. Create new button, done button, equal Tkinter.button, and define root and text. We want mark as done to every task. So we type here to show the button. Foreground and background we can set, and font. Last thing, we want to set command parameter. We can define new function names markdown. To do this action, after click on this button, let's define the def and name of our function. What we want to do, we want mark current selection and list bar. For this action, we must remove text or item from the task list widget and added this item with done tag. So we type this line to get the current selection from the task list. If isn't null, we must delete this task from the task list. To delete this item, we use delete method from the task list and insert mark task by this line. This button marks the task as done by adding word done to its name. Run the program and try it. We used to add every task. We want to remove C. We selected it. We forgot. We don't use pack method. Let's run it. We add this button to mark every item. Here we select. Let's check our program. We add some task. We selected B and delete task. Okay, very good. We selected D and we want mark as done. We see D done. Congratulations! You have created a to-do list app with Python and Tkinter. Thank you for watching. This is last part of our Python basics series. So far we have learned the basic of programming and how to make simple apps. Now you can create many programs and projects. For advanced topics, stay with my channel. Soon we will build projects using Python and its popular libraries. See you in the next video.